Since the pandemic, remote work has become more popular, allowing individuals to travel while maintaining full-time employment known as digital nomads. South Africa now plans to launch two categories of a new digital nomad visa, a remote working visa and a critical skills visa. They aim to attract international remote workers and skilled professionals and are part of the country's efforts to position itself as a global hub. Once in place, South Africa will become the fifth African nation offering this kind of visa to those who work in different countries. Let's now discuss this with Mvelo Hlophe. He's CEO at Zaio. Good afternoon, Mr. Hlophe, and thank you very much for joining us. Now, as a start, the idea of earning in one currency, perhaps dollars, and then spending it in a market where your money goes a bit further is beyond exciting. Just for the benefit of those who might not fully understand what a digital nomad visa is or the opportunities it presents, talk us through this.
So what this really means is that individuals that are from other countries that have citizenship in other countries can come then to South Africa to work for a period of time. So if they have specific skills that the country needs, for example, they're able to then stay in South Africa for, let's say, 3 to 6 months. And then in that period, they operate and live as South Africans. They then earn as they would in any other country, but they are based here during that time.
Now, in as much as this visa regime presents an opportunity for South Africans to work for foreign companies, foreign individuals with a diverse skill set can also get opportunities in South Africa, which poses somewhat of a challenge. Talk us through the implications of this type of a regime.
So I think one of the biggest things that has been voiced by many of the local talents is that when digital nomads come to South Africa, they come with larger sums of money because their currencies are stronger. What then happens is that rent prices increase, the cost of living also just increases as a result. So what then happens is that the people or the talents that could have occupied certain areas are then pushed out to be further away from where they work. For example, we've seen this quite a lot in Cape Town in certain areas where there has been an influx of digital nomads coming into the city. And as a result, the local talents has then been pushed outside of the working areas, which is usually the CBD areas.
So what measures can be put in place to retain that local talent or somewhat create opportunities for all?
I think one of the biggest ones that could be implemented is really looking at how we tax digital nomads. So, they come here with a lot of wealth, relatively, which means that they are able to afford things a lot easier. But then this has negative implications on the local talent. So if we really look at how we tax these individuals and create a far more equal playing field rather for the local talent, this would go a long way. I think another thing that really organizations can do, locally at least, is to try avoid local talent then looking for opportunities elsewhere so that they can be able to live that same life that these digital nomads live by incentivizing these individuals outside of even monetary incentives, looking at how do we upskill local talent and actually invest in them, and so that they have a sense of belonging within the organization that they work with and work for locally.
When you speak of these tax policies, would this not deter them or discourage them from coming in?
I don't believe so. I mean, South Africa's been really good at creating tax reforms where it's still pretty fair for an individual to be able to live and spend in South Africa. So I trust that the policymakers that are around would be able to create some sort of fair system that will work for everyone.
You touched just now on the issue, or that many sometimes raise, of social isolation when you have remote working, which sometimes comes with this line of work. What can honestly be done for some of these companies, or what can some of these companies do to ensure a supportive work culture that somewhat or somehow fosters a sense of belonging?
So investing in the individual is always the best thing to do for any company. So creating incentives within the organization that sits outside of monetary incentives sometimes. So looking at creating a work culture that is one of belonging, one way individuals can feel as if this company has invested in me, so I'll invest in it, so that I don't look at other opportunities outside of the country as a result.
All right, Mvelo, thank you very much for your insights this afternoon. That's Mvelo Hlophe, CEO at Zaio.